Yes, indeed. There it is. We have only one more time that we're going to actually be seeing that intro, but it's going to be happening sooner than you think, because we are almost, believe it or not, to the end of this incredible event. Welcome, everybody. Welcome back, Arvanauts, and welcome, of course. Oh, let me turn on Twitch chat. That's important. Welcome, everybody, to the final event. This is the concluding event of ArvCon 2024. So far, it has been an incredibly successful event. I'm very, very happy with everything we've done so far, but we're not quite there. We're almost to that $5,000 level, but we're not quite there. So what I'm hoping is that over the next 10 minutes? No, over the next period of time, that we can finish things up and that we can close strong as we finish up on this score. A couple of notes for those of you who did not see this before. Again, if you were tuning in expecting to see the premiere of Dune, unfortunately, we were not able to do that. Johnny, who is the GM for this event, unfortunately threw his back out on Saturday, which is why we had to reschedule the Scientist game, which we did earlier today. That was really awesome. I really enjoyed that a great deal, and I'm grateful to them for being willing to reschedule, and John Helfers for being able to step in late notice. But he's still in too much pain to be able to do the Dune premiere. So unfortunately, we can't do that, which meant we had to scramble a bit to find up alternatives. And the problem is that, late notice is just not easy on short notice to kind of pull all these stuff together. So I figured that since we already started with this, a little bit after the conclusion, but really, I think, stop breaking my DMs. I have so many thoughts, Classic Or, but I will keep them to myself. But the reality is, though, that regardless of all of that, I knew that we had already started this particular thing that we're going to be finishing. So I'm like, we probably should wrap that up. I think it makes sense for us to wrap it up now. And that is something which we can do and that we can enjoy together, because people seem to enjoy it the last time. So that is going to be the absolute key. I do, though, want to push the idea. You can always count. I think we're at fail count 5. Is that right? I think so. We can always, obviously, that people can always donate a little bit after the fact, but ArvCon 2024 is when it is. Like, after the event, it's nice to get that extra, but I can't honestly sit there and go, well, we're close and maybe we'll get there. Like, it ends tonight. So now is the time. Now is the time to jump on board and to get those donations in. The Dune premiere is going to be happening next month. There are no current plans as to when that's going to be. I don't know. Honestly, I haven't been thinking, Drew, at all about scheduling. I've just been scrambling today to try to figure out alternatives for all this. So, that things were kind of thrown off quite a bit, but we managed to get back on track. So the Dune game is happening for sure. The premiere will be occurring next month. I just don't know what day. But as soon as we get that, then I will obviously let folks know. I am very excited for that Dune premiere. It's going to be great. And I know we were talking about this last night a little bit on Drew's channel, watching him suplex a train. We were talking about what a great cast it is, and it is. It's going to be a really great group of people that's doing this, but it just didn't work out with things that were happening now. And so I was like, okay, let's just coordinate what we need to coordinate and do what we need to do. So we're going to be doing the leftover of this thing I'm about to explain. But before we get there, again, !donate is the key. !donate is the key. We are currently sitting, as I say, at 4,400. And remember, that should say 4,484 because that $20, there's $40 extra that was donated. They couldn't donate through the Tiltify page. And so instead, they went directly through Damon Runyon. I got screenshots, so I can confirm they definitely did donate. So we're currently sitting at 4484.44. And all we need to do, folks, is get to that $5,000 number to have had really an overwhelmingly successful event, having passed our goal. Right now, we are only less than $120 away from our next giveaway, which is at 4,600. And we are only about, as I say, less than $520 away from our goal. So we're almost there. And I do want to remind everybody about the top donator awards as well. Don't forget. The top donator award, and currently this belongs to one Hillness in chat, this is from Drew the Damager, the amazing Drew the Damager. This beautiful starry sky plus the graffiti covered tower in the front. Right now, Hillness is in the lead on this, so if you want this, then now's the time. You got to get your donations in now if you want this. The second one, which is the one that Gon Eden in chat, Jennifer Brozek, was kind enough to donate for, is this one, which is Prince Justin's amazing, and it really is gorgeous, picture of this moonlit or sunset sunset or sunrise based lake, which is really cool. Yeah, God Eden says mine. So if you want to snatch this from Jen's clutches, you're going to have to do this. It's going to become a live eBay event. It's set moonlit. Okay, that's what I thought. Right here with this thing allows you to sort of put this on the desk, or you can fold it over and you can frame it and just put it like that, but it's on metal. So that is pretty awesome too. And then the third... Then the third one of these, hang on a second, everybody. Okay. The third prize pack is going to go to, it is a D&D prize pack, and it will go to the third top donor, which is currently definitely not Bruce. That is Candlekeep Mysteries and Keys from the Golden Vault, plus this official... Come on, zoom in. You can do it. There you go. Focus, I mean. This official D&D dice set. So all of those together will go as the third pack that will go to the person who comes out third of that donor list. And I do want to mention again, this is honestly just for fun. It's the same thing as about like who's the S tier team and who raised the most money and all that. That is just for fun. You all know that we're doing that because, you know, the reality is what matters is that we're raising money for an incredibly valuable foundation, an incredible valuable organization that does real good in the world. And that's what this is about, honestly, right? That's the thing. This other thing is kind of a fun, cute, thing that we do separately. But I do like the idea of being able to reward people who are able to give generously. But I want to note again that for people who have been here all weekend, regardless of what you are or are able, I know C&D clearly raised the most. For all those of you who are, but no, CD&D again, did raise money and did, maintain like the content that we had and good content. It was an entertaining session. Seriously, everyone as I'm not going to talk about this now because I want to save this for the wrap up. But anyone who contributed anything, you really did a huge amount to benefit the cause. So I'm super, super pleased. And grateful for everybody who donated to make the 10th ArvCon what it was. And as Triffid says, the giveaways are for everyone. And if you want more of those, then let me just explain that you can get that because we are only $120 away from another giveaway. We are only $320 away from another giveaway. And then we're right there, $520 away from our goal. So we're really there. Please dig deep. Please, if you can, spread the word. Let people know about this. And please donate with ! Donate. I would love to get that fanfare going off multiple times. This is it, folks. We are in the home stretch now. So now is the time to get us over the line and get past that $5,000 level. So let us do that. I also want to point out that there is a thunderstorm going on here, which is not optimal, but hopefully will not be too big a problem, he said, knocking on wood. But anyway, if things flicker or whatever, you will know why that is. But we're going to get this thing done come hell or high water. All right. So what we are doing today, chat, to finish things up is we are going to finish up with something which I think we can all agree is critically important, and that is this. That's right, Star Wars, a Han and Chewie adventure. Choose your destiny. Choose your destiny. That is going to be the key. Choose your destiny is what we're doing. And we had advanced pretty far, I guess probably about halfway through the book, I want to say, with chat making the decisions. And you're going to get an opportunity to do that as well here too. Chew your destiny. I'm going to get a chance to do more Chewbacca imitations because I'm so good at that, but that's going to be happening. So as I go through this, we are going to go along and continue with this adventure. And again, we are very close. I really want to be able to go the rest of the way there to get us the rest of the way to our goal. Let me see. One thing I want to pull up, though, is I want to pull up the giveaway thing. Okay, let me just put that up there. Give me a second. Was it that? Was it that? It was that. And boom. There we go. Okay. Arv does Chewy Sounds compilation after ArvCon. Oh my God. We'll see. We'll see. Let's see how much money we raise, Classicor, okay? All right. Listen, I can maybe do a compilation. Let's see what happens if we can actually hit this number. It'll be a yes depending on this stuff. What is this witchery and flying widgets? What's up, Dragon Spear? I know, right? It's really something. All right, let me check this out. Okay. Whoa, what was that? We have gotten an anonymous donation to bring us to $60, which means we are now at 45, 44, 44, which is really cool. Thank you so much for doing that. Thank you to Anonymous, one of my favorite people. All right, let me write that down. So we are now looking at 45, 44, not 22, 45, 44, 44. So that means, folks, that we are now less than $500 away from our goal, and we are less than $60 away from our next giveaway. So we are less than $60 away from that. It's going to be super cool. Thank you, Anonymous. That's awesome. I have to say, too, we've had a lot of... I'm so grateful to both those who have said who they are, who have, like, Classicor versus Hillness for Team Chaos and Team Order, or for, folks talking about different numbers that they like. A lot of people who have been named throughout the course of the weekend and all that stuff. I really appreciate those people, and I also appreciate the anonymous folks who have been kind enough to do what they've done throughout the weekend. We had, remember, on Friday, one of the probably the largest single donation we've ever had was $1,000 anonymous donation, which is amazing, obviously. And that's something which I would not have expected to get, especially right off the bat. I mean, we got it within the first couple of hours of ArvCon, so that was really amazing. Very, very cool. Yes, Hillness found order in chaos. I know I'm a little worried about the new alliance between chaos and order. I feel like that's not going to end well for anybody. We shall see. Oh my God. What did we just get? And Law, I know who this is, has just given $55.56 to bring us to a total of $4,600. Thank you to Yudo Detenshi, also better known as Law. I was told I could call him that. So now we're up to $4,600, people. $4,600. That is wild. Remember, by the way, obviously our big thing is to get to this goal. But if we do get to $6,000, Trendane has promised to shave his beard and to videotape it for all of you. That has happened once before when John Helfers was kind enough to do it, so I wanted to note that. My OCD was driving me crazy. This is what the Order and Chaos battle is about. This is what I'm saying. Thank you so much, Yuda Detenshi. I appreciate it. The Tiltify amount and the manual amount don't match, Zach, because, and also hi, Zach, they don't match because we have someone who donated $40 two $20 donations that wasn't able to do it through Tiltify for some reason. So they did it directly to Damon Runyon and sent me the screenshot. So I confirmed they did donate. So that's why there's a $40 difference between the two. I also am going to talk to Tiltify, which is an amazing, it really, really helps me a lot in doing this, but I am going to talk to them and talk to their customer service people and be like, hey, can you give me the option to add this manually? Because it would make it a lot easier if I wasn't having to explain that. Although the good news is that it means that sometimes people are like, wait, I thought that was making it even. No, I thought this was. Anyway, thank you so much for that, Law. That brings us to another giveaway, everybody, and we're now $400 away, $400 away from our $5,000 goal. That's it. $400 is all that we are away from the $5,000 goal for ArvCon 2024. So thank you very, very much, everybody. It gives us two different targets. Yeah, that's it. That's the Crit Twitch. That's what it's about. So I think so. I think I basically did. Sometime it would be fun to do okay. I figured that wasn't going to last. So Classicor, the power of Team Chaos, says, quote, oops, and brings us up to 46-17-71. That is what happened. 46-17-71. I told you this is what happens. 46-17.71. So that's the thing. It's the thing. 46-17-71. I do think that the first one, I should do a retrospective sometime, which was back in 2015. I think it was just sort of impromptu, and we raised a few $100. I think it was like $300, $200, $300, and then it was like $500, and then gradually worked our way up. Our top one that we've ever done was $7,100, but there were a lot of factors that sort of contributed to that. And as time goes on, it goes up a little bit, down a little bit, and I've been sort of modifying as we go up and down as we go. But this is obviously, this would be a big number for us to pass that $5,000 level. So that would be great. Thank you so much for that, Classicor. And yes, palindromes unite, 1771, 1771. And we are now, chat, less than $400 away from our goal. We're also less than $200. Yuno Detenshi writes back with a $12.83 donation. Classicor, you don't want to do this. That is 4630.54 now. 4630.54. Okay, 4630.54. That's what we're at now. And he screwed up the math. I just got to leave this here because, like, are you still second? I think you are still second, yes. Although Classicor has given a number of times, but I think the total amount is not up to the level of what you did. Let me just check. 57, 116, 128, 135, 140. Hold on. 190. Oh, look at this. 190. Yes. Now, Classicor is floating right around, quick math, right around 190. That puts him in shouting distance of Dragon Spear, not that far off of John, and then farther off from definitely not Bruce. But yeah, Jen, you are still in second. Very important, everybody, that Jen stays second. Jen has been very clear about this. In case anyone's curious, Jen contributed last night $368.47, which is incredibly generous for all of you. It was incredibly generous for doing this, and I just wanted you to all know that that was the number, not for any reason whatsoever. No, legitimately, I am really, really genuinely grateful that Jen did that. I was not expecting it. I was not expecting it from Jen or from John last night, and it was super, super helpful. Yes, I got the impression, Prince Justin, that Jen kind of likes this print. I got your impression. I got that impression. I got that feeling. I sort of got that sense. I mean, it's a beautiful, like, it's a absolutely gorgeous photo. So also, I want to say that the storm is here, so it is raining madly outside. So as you all were going back and forth with this, there's just this like storm outside. It was, yeah. And I'm going to also make sure that it doesn't. Oh my God, Zach! Cancer sucks, ArvCon rocks. First of all, oh my God. Okay. Wait a second. I got to do this one at a time. First of all, Zach, Zach, am I at liberty to explain why this would be important to you personally? Is that okay for me to do that? I think you've talked about this anyway, but I want to mention that if I can. Is that, yeah? Okay. So first of all, $100 from Zach and $10.46 from Law Yudo Detenshi, which brings us now to 4741. That brings us to 4741, to be clear. I think you might have slightly messed up the math again. I don't know. 4741. But I want to explain. Thank you so much, Law, for doing that. 4741. Okay. 4741. There we go. That is the current amount that we are looking at. Thank you. It's an even number. It's all right. Okay, great. So now, chat, we are only a little over $250 shy of our goal. So we're almost there. I want to talk about what Zach is, and I want to talk about why this is important for Zach. So Zach's mother passed away from breast cancer. I think it was like was it a year ago, Zach? 2 years ago? It was within the last 18 months, probably, I would guess, right? And it was 2021. Oh my God, it was 3 years ago. I can't even, wow. And so, this is one of the, Zach and I are good friends, as you folks know, and one of the reasons that we're friends, there's many reasons, but one I think is that there's a sort of common element of having seen our mothers go through this, and sort of understanding the perspective of what makes our existence precious, regardless of religious faith or anything else? What makes our time here precious, and why it's so important to be able to help other people? And so when I know of people that I know have a personal stake in this that also have contributed, and that includes survivors. We had a number of people this weekend who talked to me and who posted or who donated who were survivors of this too and are still with us. That makes a big difference for that. And so that's a very personal special thing as well. And Zach, thank you, my friend, so much. I really appreciate that. Zach, of course, and I do the Gen GMs show. You folks should check out at some point. Zach, of course, is a member in good standing of Expedition from the Mysterious Peaks and the ArvCon here. And you should watch Zach doing all this stuff on his own channel. He's a wonderful professional DM and all that stuff. So wonderful musician. But and you saw him do this incredible performance on Friday night. But it is really, that's very meaningful. So thank you, Zach. I appreciate that. All right. So good luck on the home stretch to 5K. Thank you, Vanen. And I know you contributed before, so thank you again. That means 4751. That's right, 4751. Less than 250 away. Less than 250 away to 5,000, chat. We're almost there. 4750 away. You should check those shorts. I also saw that you posted more shorts live suing. Obviously can't get to it now, but I will be addressing that tomorrow probably. So thank you. 4751 out of 5,000. We're right there, chat. We're right there. And we are going to be doing something, I promise. So in case you're wondering, are you just going to be sitting here vamping? No, I have a game that we're going to play, but I haven't been able to talk yet because I've been explaining it and you people just keep throwing money at the screen. So, yeah, and the shorts have done so well for this. Wow, wait a minute. I'm going to turn this up. Can you hear this, chat? That is pouring. No, that's the rain. That's the rain on my roof is what that is. Keep vamping, it's making money. We're there. Oh, we're there. 49. Wait, is that? I just got 2. 49. We're there. 5,009. Let's go. Oh, wait, but I have to calculate. Gone Eden, I got to calculate. Law just donated enough to bring us over the limit, plus Mrs. Dunsel with the 9. That brings us to $5,009. Let's go. Let's go. Man, I didn't even have to freaking run a game. Yours was small. No, what matters is yours was amazing. Wow. We did it, y'all. We did it. $5,009 out of 5,000. Let's go. If you get to 6,000, Trent shaves his beard. That's true, too. Thank you, everybody, so much. I'm going to calculate Law in a minute. Just hang on a second. Thank you so much to Mrs. Dunsel again. Thank you so much, Law, for doing that. That was super generous. If we hit 5,500, we have more. So you are the game right now. Listen. Because I have this outro in there, and I have to rewrite some of it. I know, right? I love looking at that. You know, once we get that blue bar number, so it actually looks like it does little, like, you know, freaking, we get fireworks. So Tiltify gives us fireworks once we go past that $5,000 goal, like on there. Right now it thinks we're short of it, but we're not. We're actually over it because of the money from Dragonspawn earlier on. But thank you, everybody. And I want to say it's been such a lovely weekend with all of you, too. Can I just say? I got to meet some of you and speak to you more. Dragonspawn as an example, numerous others. It was really great. Like, I felt it was like, wasn't it? I felt like it was a really fun, warm, loving, joyful event. It really was. And that's despite all the stuff behind the scenes we were scrambling to do. I'll say more thank yous later. But let me calculate quickly, though, because let's see them fireworks. Oh, geez. Law's on the case. Wait. All right, hold on. 250. I got to calculate this now. I got to calculate this because, okay, so Law's got 259 plus 1283 plus 55, 56 plus 100 plus. Oh, it's okay. We have Houston, we have a problem. So Yudo Detenshi, who by the way is been known previously as This Is Law or Lawkeeper, who has been a viewer and the mod for many, many years. I've known them all the way back to the Calabasas days, and I've actually met in person. I have some news, Jen. Lawkeeper is now second on the list with 437.85. Hillness is still in front with 535.66. Now let's see the fires. 5,000. There's the on the line thing. Yeah. Oh man. I can't even see. I wouldn't be, if it weren't for the fact that this is also benefiting cancer research. Good gravy. So yes, is now challenging Hillness is what's happening now, which is not something I was expecting. 558.80 or 458.85. That is, yeah. So that means that currently Gone Eden is in third place. Now, I do want to say something really seriously. These things are always really lots of fun because everyone's having a good time for a good cause. Please do not overspend or spend stuff beyond your capabilities or do anything where you get kind of caught up in the exhilaration and then go, oh crap, I just gave away my rent/mortgage money. I'm not saying this to the specific people that are adults, Law and Hillness and Jen. They all know their business. But I'm letting you all folks know, as exciting as it is, I don't want everyone to do something that's going to put them in some terrible, horrible position down the line. Like that's the only thing I want to say. Just be aware of that. Okay, where is it? 5,000. That is it. Friends don't fight. It's a bit of healthy competition. That's exactly right. I did not expect to go like this. You know what though, Effect Life? This community has rallied so many times. That's what we're up to is 5,040. So many times this community has rallied in exactly this way. Do you realize, chat, that this means that we have now raised over $35,000 for Damon Runyon over the last 10 years of doing this event? Over $35,000 for Damon Runyon. That, now you could say, well, they make millions. That's a millions of dollars charity event. But this is us, right? This is our community, a group of people, many of whom have not met each other face to face, some of whom have, and all of us coming together for this common purpose. So I hope that everyone recognizes the significance of that, because as we add, Classic or adds $6.66, Team Chaos continues. Well, that's going to bring us over the goal from their point of view. Absolutely spectacular. Tiny beast donation. I love it. 5,046.66. Everybody, I'm just absolutely over the moon with the success of this, how well this has gone this year. I know that it's always, there's so many things, so many good causes and important causes to give to, and everyone's got their own lives. But not only we've had wonderful turnout all weekend, a turnout that I hope will continue for future things because it's been great. But we have already made it, and I haven't even read the book yet. Like I didn't even get there. 5,046.66. And just as a reminder, we are, again, auction fever. Let's all calm down. No auction fever. But for those of you who are like, maybe I can throw, I haven't donated. I'd like to, or I know a friend who wants to see this and they would like to donate. Just be aware that if you would like to see our good friend Trent shave his beard, that's the $6,000 level. There's technically a shaving his head at 8,000, but I'm not gonna go crazy. Wow. 5,046.66. And we got there we got there before the thing even technically comes to an end. Like it's supposed to run for another couple hours. I am so grateful to all of you for this. I've also said, not only is it personally meaningful to me from the point of view of it's supporting something, which as I talked about with Zach's situation, my mom passed away from cancer, my oldest friend from bone cancer last year. I was one of the people doing the eulogy at his funeral, lost several pets to cancer, obviously had many friends who were affected by it. I know survivors too, many of them who have talked to me about it. So it's not only personally meaningful there, it's also personally meaningful because it is another example of how a community coming together like ours, brought together by our common love of games and stories and silly things like droid unionization, like those people brought together for this can make. I don't think I knew that, Live Suing. I'm so sorry to hear that, but Live is another example. That's another example, Live, of why we do this for that. I didn't know that, but thank you for sharing it. It affects so many people, but it's not just about this cancer research or even about this foundation. It's about showing that the community can come together. I did know that, Live. Yeah. It is about coming together for, I don't think I knew that, CQ. I'm sorry to hear that for you and for Triffin. I'm sorry to hear that. But again, thank you then for being a part of this. And again, I cannot say enough how much this is demonstrative of a community coming together for common purpose. Think about how much people coming in on raids, people having fun with each other, chatting with each other. There was a big discussion at one point about mech, like what mechs usage, and like I like this battle mech or that battle mech or whatever. Or thinking about this Choose Your Own Adventure that we're going to finish reading, or having the Expedition of the Mysterious Peaks, the amazing freaking music concert, the freaking with Zach and Kilgore, or Chrono Wolf doing the freaking Might As Well Jump in the freaking music pajamas and the keytar. Like, so many fun things between those and all the tabletop stuff. All of that bringing us together for common purpose. And it's very moving to me that we're able to do that. It's very moving to me that we can have that kind of an effect, not just about cancer, but about anything that's positive, right? That we're coming together in that way. So I want to thank you all. I think it's very appropriate to say, this is the way. You know what to do, chat. This is the way. Okay, thank you. I'm glad Live Suing got it. I was like, geez. Thank you. All right, there we go. I was like, man, I have spoken. Oh God, so good. I have spoken. It's so good. Oh, I love Queel so much. Oh man, I love it so much. I wish that it wasn't considered ridiculously geeky to just do this in life. Like, instead of being like, just being like, I have spoken and then leave, or just like, this is the way. I totally want that. Like, I totally 100% want that. Oh my goodness. Good stuff. All right. So quick question to Triffid. How many giveaways do we have left? Yes, Live. So much. You spoiled it no, just kidding. Hi, Darksteel. How many giveaways do we have left based on what we've reached so far? In accordance with the prophecy. I guess that's fair. Well, like if I'm at if I'm at the symposium, Emily can confirm this. If I'm at the Gen Con, the symposium, or if I'm hanging out with, you all folks sitting at like Three Rivers Comic Con this weekend. By the way, if you'd like to say hello to me and you are in the Pittsburgh area, coming up this weekend, Little Arv and I will be at Three Rivers Comic Con, so you can stop by there. Are there two? I love The Mandalorian so much. At home, we do speak nerd. Yes, but I'm talking about, it's the same reason I would love to get away with wearing a cloak for real. Like, I actually think cloaks are badass, and they do keep you warm. I'm talking about in the winter months, right? But realistically, and everyone could be like, you could do it anyway. I know what I could do anyway. But regardless, like, I mean, it's not quite in a position, but I want to be able to bring, you know what I'm saying? Okay, listen. I knew you were all going to say this. I know I can wear cloaks if I want to. I understand that. I'm just talking about, we need to make, this is what I'm saying from Live Soon. We need to make it a freaking, a vibe, a meme, They worked for Lando, right? So that's the thing. Oh man, I'm so pleased, everybody. Cloak now on camera. Cannot do that right now on camera, and I'll tell you why. Because right now, said cloak is being washed. That is why. And I'm not going to wear a damp cloak on camera. That will not occur. Sorry. Plus 2 Blade Runner things that are currently unlisted by tiers. Oh, we have the $5,000 level. Okay. Is that at 5,200 then, Triffid? We have 5,200 as the 2 Blade Runner. Wear a cloak if you wanna. You can leave this cloak behind. Is that right? 5,200 is the next one? Because then I can show this off. Is that can we confirm? I love that I'm doing this and I have yet to pick up this book. I am going to. We are going to play a game today. Okay. Get this, chat. So remember I told you all that Tales from the Loop, which Free League had sent us last year, didn't end up getting claimed. We didn't use it, right? Guess what else? Okay. Y'all ready for this? Okay, here we go. Triff, it is phenomenal. Can confirm. Okay, here we go. Ready? So, at 5,200, that's right. It is the hardcover Free League Blade Runner, the role-playing game core rules. At 5,200, this book will be given away. You're like, wait. There's maybe not enough. I don't know if I really want this. Oh, really? Let me hit you with some kapow! Skills and specialties. But maybe you're like, I don't know. Is there really enough? Is there? What if I show you Central Los Angeles? If you could feel the heft of this book, this gets given away at 5,200. Once we hit 5,200, we're giving this bad boy away. But wait, there's more. At 5,400, booyah! The Blade Runner role-playing game starter set from Free League. Wabam! Wapow! Wapow is what I meant to do. Sealed in shrink wrap. 5,400. 5,200, we give away this. 5,400, we give away this. And I believe we gave away the board games. I think I put the board games up there on a list, but yeah. So we came prepared. We came correct. So we are ready to go. All right. So 5,200, 5,400, and if we get to 6,000, then Trent shaves his beard. So there's that. But anyway, so yeah, let's keep it rolling, folks, while we do this. All right, I'm going to do this. Hold on a second. My wife called me, and I have to call her back. So I'm going to call my wife back, and then we are going to, I promise, chat, play this and see if we can get Han and Chewie off the planet that you all crash landed them on. I will do that. And again, Yudo Detenshi, thank you. So reminder, Law, right now you were in line for, Law, I don't even know if you saw this. You realize that by being the second person right now, Law, this is yours. Did you know that? This metal print done by our very own Prince Justin, a moonlit lake photography. This is yours unless someone snipes it. But right now, Yudo Detenshi sitting at 458.85 behind Hillness. So this right now is sitting as yours. Yeah. And also it's got this metal thing to put on your desk, and then it is cool because it really is amazing. And then you can obviously close that and then frame it if you wish instead. So it's specifically Cascade Lake in northern Minnesota. I know that. I know you do. I understand that. I know that. You don't need to well, I mean, if you're passing yours, first of all, that's extremely not generous of you. If you're passing this on to, I was just going to say that. If you're passing this on to Con Eden, who was so excited to get this, you could totally do that. That's up to you. That would mean that definitely not Bruce would get the D&D pack still. But regardless, I'll let you all decide that amongst yourselves. That's not for me to decide. You make your decision about that, and then you can find out. But I do want to point out that's really generous, though. Law doing it for is not doing it just for that. And of course, everyone's doing it for the cause, not because they're like, oh, I want that cool thing. It's just fun to get the little cool thing. But it's really nice that you would even consider it that way. But anyway, I will leave you all to decide that. So I'm going to mute my microphone and I'm going to talk to my wife briefly. And then I'll be right back at you folks. And we're going to do this Choose Your Destiny. Let's keep going. Let's see how far up we can get. But already overwhelming success, chat. We have made our goal. Let's keep pushing, but everything now is just gravy, and let's keep the gravy. I don't know about you. I like gravy. Let's keep the gravy coming on, and I'll be right back to you folks in just a minute. Hang tight. Okay, and we're back. Lovely. Oh man, I keep looking at that number and just big smile. Big smile. Good stuff. That makes me feel real good. Okay. Sorry, chat. All right. Sorry about that. I just got a bunch of people asking me stuff, so I just had to quickly deal with that. And we're ready to go. All right. All right. Now, as we are raising money for the things, it is Hillness 1, Law 2, Gen 3. That's it. Yep. That is correct. As we are doing all the things, as we're in the process of doing all the things, thank you for all the reposts as well. Appreciate that. Okay. I keep saying that we're going to get started, and then I keep getting messages for different things. Okay. So as we are doing this, we're also going to try to figure this out. Well, I know, Drew, and so do I. Actually, Drew, when my wife came up here, it was earlier today, and came up and then went past, and she's like, oh, because there was the thing that, the other thing you sent me, which is that really awesome lighthouse picture of that, which was like, which is sitting right in a really good spot, right in a good spot on my, over there on my little fireplace area that you've seen before. So she was like, wow, that's really cool. I'm like, yes, it is. Yes, it is. I am very lucky to be surrounded by talented people, and on the photo front, Drew and Prince Justin bring it every year. So it's good stuff. All right. Okay, chat, we ready to go? Now, remember, in case for those of you in a galaxy far, far away, on Saturday, before we had reached our goal, somehow ArvCon had returned. No, okay. Let's see. Right, there are also those two. Well, yeah, but it's good to be able to do it in chat also for those who aren't looking right at the screen, though, Effect Life. But that is a good point, that you can see the giveaway, again, from Arcanus Bot, made by the amazing Effect Life. That's right up there. Status running, keyword cascade, entries for, chance 25%. So you can see that up there, too. Okay, now in our last session of this, Han and Chewie were trying to get somewhere to deliver Jabba some things, and then all of a sudden they got stopped by an Imperial blockade. They tried to pretend they were a medical frigate, didn't work out. They ended up leaving and were able to escape despite the ship being badly damaged and everything by basically dumping a bunch of cargo. Side note, this was going to be a problem for Han later on. Anyway, for sure. So that was the deal with that. So once he landed, they ended up managing to land on this jungle planet, or I guess in the jungle area of this planet. They found someone who was able to basically repair a bunch of ships and stuff like that, a criminal gang, and Han managed to convince them that he is in fact the crime lord Jabba the Hutt, even though he doesn't look anything like a Hutt, but they don't know that. So, but the one person there was a character named Meech, who is a Twi'lek, who brought him some food, and rather than eating the food, chat decided that they wanted him to speak to Meech instead, to basically talk to Meech. And so, as we start up here, this is where we are. And in case you're wondering why I'm asking you all this, it's because you, chat, will get to decide what happens next while we continue to donate. Okay, here we go. No, he had eaten enough. Meech, wait. She paused at the door and looked back. What? He took a step closer. It's just, well, you don't seem to fit in around here. And you don't seem to have a long tail or eat gorgs. Han winced. So you know, huh? That you're not who you say you are? She laughed bitterly. Don't worry. Your secret's safe with me. Not that anyone would listen anyway. He took another step toward her. Listen, when your bionic limbs malfunctioned, that was no accident, was it? Nodo did it to you. She shifted uncomfortably, putting her hands in her back pockets. This was obviously difficult for her. I'm Jabba the Hutt. You don't look like a Hutt. I was adopted. Right. The Hutts, famously, interested in adopting children. I crashed here, she explained, 4 years ago. Nodo fixed my robotic arms and legs. Like you, I didn't have any credits, but unlike you, I didn't pretend to be a gangster. So Nodo made you work off your debt? She laughed, and then some. Rolling up her sleeve, Meech showed him her bionic arm. He implanted devices that shock me every time I refuse to do as he says. That day, I became his slave. Han was appalled. He'd guessed that Nodo was a creep, but this was a step too far. Meech noted the expression on his face. Think that's bad? She led him out of the yacht and toward the old armored transport. Look inside. Han peered through the window and saw men and women standing against the wall. Oh no, they weren't standing. They were stuck to the wall by some kind of gloop. That's filofoam, isn't it? Meech nodded. Used to plug hull breaches on ships. One spray and it hardens in seconds. And Nodo is using it to trap people? Well, who are they? Crews brought in by pirates. Nodo holds them here for ransom. Han felt his stomach knot. He'd done plenty of dodgy stuff over the years and dealt with a lot of bad people, from the White Worms to Crimson Dawn, but this was more than just dodgy. This was downright wrong. Anything wrong? Rumbled a deep voice behind them. It was Nodo, two of his arms crossed in front of his barrel chest. No, Meech was just showing me around, Han said. One of Nodo's hands went down to a remote on his belt. Was she now? Han raised his hands to stop him. Because I asked her to. You did say your home was my home. Nodo peered at the two of them for a moment before his expression softened. He laughed, strolling over to the window. So, what do you think of my little business venture? Han struggled to hide his disgust. It's very enterprising. Aren't you worried they'll escape? Through all that foam? Nodo slapped the transport's door. Besides, this baby's locked up tight. I'm the only one with the key. Nodo patted the remote on his belt, the same one Han suspected had caused Meech so much pain. It must also control the transport's door. Want in on the deal? He really had fallen for Han's lie. Han made a show of clapping Nodo on his broad back. Perhaps we should discuss it over dinner. Nodo's face lit up. An excellent... Oh, no, that was the wrong voice. Perhaps we should discuss it over dinner. Nodo's face lit up. Congratulations, class score. An excellent idea. Meech, get Screech to rustle up something extra special tonight. The cyborg glared at him. Of course. Whatever you say, boss. And what are you waiting for? Nodo asked, waving her away. Meech hurried off and Nodo rubbed both sets of hands together in anticipation. So, until tonight, Han gave Nodo a thumbs up. We could talk about that deal. Nodo followed Meech over to the main building, obviously imagining the riches the new deal would bring. He was going to be disappointed. Couldn't happen to a nicer fella, Han said, looking at the remote he'd lifted from Nodo's belt. His thumb hovered over the control. With one press, Han could release Nodo's prisoners, and Meech too. All right, chat, so, $vote space 1. Does Han release the prisoners right away? $vote space 1 means yes. $vote space 2 means no. So, does Han release the prisoners right away? $vote space 1 means yes. $vote space 2 means no. Yeah, chat's thinking about what happens if... Yeah. Yeah, it's a tough call, right? But you got to think a little bit about what this current circumstances are. Yeah, why do you think you should wait, Live? Because you're concerned about what happens if they release him right now? Yeah. Well, I guess the other thing is that they're stuck in the foam, right? So even if you release the ship right now, they can't get out because they're still stuck in the foam. So, like, I don't know how to get rid of the foam yet, but yeah. Because they can't get out because of the foam anyway, I would think. But yep. Well, right now we have a tie between release now or release later. So there's some good suggestion going on in chat about what could happen. Um, so if you want to vote, it would be $vote space 1. Yes means that you release them all right this second. Vote 2 means you release them a little bit later. So the question is about that, about what happens then. So, hey, Optic. And yeah, you can always change your vote if you wish. But I'm going to last call this. Last call, last call. Okay. All right. So it looks like we are sticking with what we have. All right. Here we go. Release the prisoners right away. There's no time like the present, Han said, pushing the button. He heard the chunk of the transport's doors unlocking. Han also heard Screech's cry, the scrawny birdman raising the alarm. Nodo darted back into the yard, a blaster already in his hand. Han glanced at the transport. Where were the prisoners? Why weren't they streaming from the vehicle? Then he realized. The Philofoam. The prisoners couldn't escape even if they wanted to. Nodo's stun beam struck his wounded shoulders, sending him spinning to the ground. The reptilian loomed over Han as he tried to stand on legs that were like spiced jelly. You're no Hutt, Nodo growled. Why would Jabba care about a few lousy hostages? Han couldn't answer or fight back as Nodo dragged him to the transport. You could stay here until we figure out what to do with you, the scaly alien said as he shoved Han through the door. Still affected by Nodo's stun beam, Han could only groan as Nodo picked up a hose and doused him in liquid philofoam. The sticky glue hardened within seconds, fixing Han to the wall like the other hostages. He tried to cry out when he heard Chewie calling his name, but Nodo slapped a sweaty palm over Han's mouth, silencing him. He struggled, but could only watch helplessly as Chewbacca stepped inside the transport and was trapped by another blast of Nodo's foam gun. Roar! Chewie roared, struggling against the grip of the hardened gunk. Nodo laughed and stomped out of the transport, slamming the door behind him. Don't worry, pal, Han told his friend. We'll think of a way out of this, one way or another. We just need a little time, that's all. And locked inside the dusty transport, they had all the time they needed. The end. Can you go back and help Han make a better decision? Where will the adventure lead next time? Apparently, yes was not the right answer. Best viewers? Best ban. I think that's what we mean. Ban. Okay. Ninja. Oh, yeah. I just happened to see it when I was over there, so. Good stuff. All right, so instead, we're not doing yes. We are doing no. No, Han told himself. It would be better to bide. I know. I appreciate that, Jonathan. It would be better to bide his time, to wait until the Falcon was ready to fly. He slipped the remote into a pouch in his belt. Not long now. Or so he thought. The sudden roar of repulsors made Han look up. A massive cruiser was descending, its red and yellow hull bristling with weapons. Without warning, it opened fire. We did beat the goal. We are now at 5,046.66. Hold on one second. Okay. So What a strange little number we have. 5,046, 66, 666. We did beat the goal, yes. Very exciting. We did get there. And it was Law has moved into second behind Hillness. So there was that too. Okay. Okay, let's see. Okay, good. So okay. Right. Okay, so no, Han told himself, it would be better to bide his time, to wait until the Falcon was ready to fly. He slipped the remote into a pouch on his belt. Not long now. Or so he thought. Dun dun dun, Nate. The sudden roar of repulsors made Han look up. A massive cruiser was descending, its red and yellow hull bristling with weapons. Without warning, it opened fire. Han ran for the yacht, only to see a bolt of plasma blast the luxury craft into glistening shards of shrapnel. Across the yard, Nodo bellowed, "What is the meaning of this?" A hologram appeared in the air, projected from the spaceship. It was a Quarren, long squid-like tentacles writhing beneath her jaw. "Lilani," Nodo gasped. "We have no quarrel with you." The hologram's eyes narrowed. "No, but we have a dispute with your guest." "What guest?" "Jabba the Hutt," Lilani announced. "I warned that treacherous worm what would happen if he dared enter my territory." "There's no one here by that name," Nodo claimed, but Lilani wouldn't listen. "Bring him to me or I'll destroy your pathetic junkyard." Her threat delivered, Lilani's hologram promptly vanished. Two of Nodo's men grabbed Han, dragging him over to their boss. "Hey, get off me," he said. "What are you doing?" Nodo shrugged. "Sorry, Jabba. I can't afford to cross Lilani." Han struggled but couldn't break free of his captor's grip. Han almost cheered when he heard Chewie's roar. He twisted around to see the Wookiee racing toward them, bowcaster in hand. He must have heard the explosion and come running. I love it, Shadow. "Now you're in for it," Han grinned. Chewie raised his bowcaster and was swamped by a flood of sticky foam. Screech had appeared in front of the Wookiee, dousing Chewbacca with fill of foam from the container on his feathered back. Chewie was so tall that the foam only reached his chest, but it still hardened in seconds. Chewbacca was rooted to the spot, his arms and legs stuck fast in the concrete-like material. He twisted and roared, but could barely move a muscle. Lilani's voice boomed from the spaceship. "You're running out of time, Nodo. Bring me Jabba the Hutt." All right, chat. Does Han admit that he is not really Jabba? $ vote space 1 says he does admit that he's not really Jabba. $ vote space 2 means he does not admit that he is Jabba. Did I say Jabba? I meant I was Jabba. Jibba Jabba. That's my name. Jibba Jabba the Hot. I'm the Hot. Jibba Jabba the Hot. Not Jabba the Hutt. Common mistake. Jibba Jabba the Hot. Very different thing. The mighty Jabba. He ain't Java, he's a Frappuccino. 9, he's a latte. All right, so Chad is like, no, don't admit it. I can't blame you. Go to last call this. Oh, God. No. Oh, man. Those are going to go. There's a lot of good stuff coming out of ArvCons that live streaming will have to work with coming out of ArvCon this year. Like the freaking, John getting turned into a baby, for example. Larry getting turned into a baby. Although I don't know if you can do that in, whatever it is, 30 seconds or whatever it is for a YouTube short. But, yeah. The whole, I don't know. I just can't. I can kind of do I could do that sort of, but I can't really do the I can't do it. It just sounds like a honk. It basically it's like I'm playing, instead of Chewbacca, I'm playing Untitled Goosebacca. Also, a lot of stuff in the scientist game came out was pretty badass today. I have to say, there was some good stuff out of that. Was really liked that scientist game. That was the first wild mage surge in the campaign. We have hit and surpassed the goal, Tilted. Yes, we have. Thanks to you and many others. Yes, we have. How you doing, my friend? Yes, we did get past it. 5,046.66. We'll see what other numbers, what other contributions we get. At 5,200, chat, remember, 5,200, we're going to give this away, a brand spanking new Core Rules from Blade Runner, the role-playing game, one of our sponsors, Free League, one of our sponsors for ArvCon. And at 5,400, a starter set, sealed Blade Runner, the role-playing game starter set at 5,400. Once we get to those numbers. So we're only now 5046, right? So we're only $154 away, less than $150 away with this. So next 3 months of shorts, only ArvCon. I'm telling you though, those shorts have done such good numbers, and they have our subscriber numbers are up on both channels. I'm on a new record now with the YouTube channel. Gen GMs has gone up really well, so it's doing super well. You are currently Dragon Spear in 5th place. Law came in and sniped Gan Eden. So right now, Jen. So it's right now. Hillness is at 535.66. Yuta Detenshi, that's Law, is 458.85. Jennifer Brozek, the Gan Eden, is 368.47. Definitely not Bruce 300. John Helfer's 276.63. And you are sitting at 224, Dragon. So you are currently in, I believe, 6th, if I'm not mistaken. You already gave your dog enough D&D books to chew on. I see how it is. I could just call you Yui. Well, you tell me, whatever, Law, I can do it either way. But if it is Yui, is it Yui? Yui? I want to make sure that I'm getting it right. Yui? All right. How long do we have left for ArvCon? Main channel shorts are doing very well. Yes. Yes, they are. They have definitely, and they've increased subscriber numbers too. I've gotten another 5 or 6 subscribers just in the last week or so, just from people tuning into the shorts. So Yui. All right, good. I thought it was that. Okay, cool. I'll try to remember one way or the other. As far as how long we have left, it's basically however long it takes me to finish this Choose Your Own Adventure, I think. So technically we're aiming for somewhere between 5 and 6 is when I'm going to start wrapping it up. And then I have some thank yous to say, of course, and then we'll close up shop. And then we're going to be live again tomorrow, chat. I'm going to be live again tomorrow, not with ArvCon, but I'm going to be doing the Fighting Fantasy Gamebook illustration stream with Tari. And then I'm going to be doing possibly, it looks like we might be doing a Talisman board game play over on GOG.com's Twitch channel for Pen and Pixels. That'll be in the afternoon. And then the community D&D folks will be on Wednesday. So they'll be on Wednesday again. And then Thursday, I'll be back with some Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. And then the weekend comes, and I'm going to be in Pittsburgh. So I don't know. I'm probably going to try to get one stream in, but I don't know how many I can because I'm going to be at Three Rivers Comic Con over the weekend. But it means that at least through Sunday anyway, we will have streamed we're going to stream all the way through till Thursday. I don't know if we'll get one in Friday or Saturday, but yeah, we will have streamed 13 days in a row. I think I figured this out the other day. It would be, so assuming that we do, because I streamed on Monday. I did an impromptu stream last Monday. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 11 straight days of content. 11 straight days of content. So, yeah, still going strong, Echo. We got probably another 45 minutes to an hour, I would say. But within that time is when we're looking to close up. So, yeah, 11 days in a row. Not too shabby. I turned it up to 11. It just worked out that way because we got Community D&D did another session that we hadn't originally expected. Then we had all the ArvCon stuff. I did that impromptu stream that last Monday. So, yeah, a lot of content. On the 12th day of ArvCon, my true love gave to me a Blade Runner core set. Okay, anyway. All right, so it looks like Chad has decided that we are going to do that. The choice is no. We're not going to admit. Sorry, pal, Noto said to Han. It's either you or me, and I like me more. The feeling ain't mutual, Han growled, but there was little he could do. We have him, Noto called into the air. We have Jabba. In response, Lalani's ship landed in front of them, its repulsors throwing up clouds of dust. Han was still spluttering as Lalani swept down the ramp dressed in long red robes holding a coiled electro whip. She was flanked by 2 armor-clad Mandalorian mercenaries, both carrying disintegrators. There, look at that. This is the way. Well, see, I don't know if this is the way for them yet. All right. That's Lalani. Lalani looked at Han and then back at Noto. Well, where's Jabba? Noto pointed at Han. He's right here. This puny creature? He's not Jabba the Hutt. Welp. Who are you calling puny? Han shot back, ignoring the shocked look on Noto's face. But, Noto stammered, he said... Enough, Lalani interrupted, silencing him with a crack of her whip. I have no time for your deceit. Guards, show them what happens to people who waste my time. The Mandalorians zapped the nearest stack of rhydonium with their disintegrators. The barrels exploded, setting off a chain reaction across the shipyard. Han's captors let go of his arms as thick smoke billowed through the base. This was his chance to escape, but he couldn't let Noto's hostages to their fate. Lalani was mad enough to blow up the entire base. Running for Chewbacca, Han snatched Noto's remote from the pouch on his belt and thumbed the master control. On the other side of the shipyard, the transport's doors opened. But what could he do about Chewie? His friend was still trapped from the chest down in foam. Or was he? Cracks were appearing as Chewbacca strained beneath the hardened material. It was the heat from the flaming barrels, melting the foam. Hang in there, buddy, Han said, trying to pry the cracks apart. We'll get you out of there. It's our first 3-way choice, chat. How can Han... get Chewie out of the foam? Use a welder. Use a hammer. Or use a spanner. Spanner, 4.6 from Trend. What's it going to be, chat? $ vote space 1 if you want to use a welder. $ vote space 2 if you want to use a hammer. $ vote space 3 if you want to use a spanner. Does the spanner have a wood chipper? That's a good question, yes. I don't know if it has one. You're assuming the welder would melt the foam. Yeah, that's a good call. If there's already cracks in the foam because of the fire, yeah, I could see that. I could see that. But chat must decide. $ vote space 1 for use a welder. $ vote space 2 for use a hammer. $ vote space 3 for use a spanner. Oh, yeah, well. If you're going to do that, if you're just for the wood chipper, classic horror, if you're going to do that, remember you can do change vote, $ change vote space, and then the number if you want to change it. Okay. All right, all right. Last call, last call. We have more Fury of Dracula codes too. All right, well let's see how that goes if we hit the 5200. Because 5200 we're going to do the Blade Runner thing, and then 5400. I mean no, Yeah, 5200 Blade Runner core rules, 5400 starter set, and then we can maybe put the Fury of Dracula maybe at 5500, like make it like a just 1,000 past or whatever. But I like the idea that we've used most of the codes, hopefully most of the giveaway things, because that means less stuff to hang around my office. Like literally, I forgot that we had the 2 Blade Runners and the Tales from the Loop thing, that because I put them behind where I wasn't, and then I was like, whoops. So, and I still have, I have a bunch of those board games that were supposed to be for ArvCon last year that ended up arriving a day after ArvCon live event ended. So I still have a bunch of those that I'm trying to that I can give away as part of different things, but I can, it's expensive to ship, so I can only do so many of those. No, you see, that's the thing, Darksteel. If I were just keeping it for myself, I wouldn't give it away now, would I? That's the thing, right? Like if I were just like, oh, whoops, and then kept it. I wouldn't do that anyway, but if I did, why would I give it away now? Like I literally forgot. I want the stuff out of here. I think they're amazing, and I have a lot of the stuff. But as you can see, I am not lacking for RPG or game material in general. So, yeah, I really like Tales from the Loop. It's really a striking thing for me. I don't know why. It's just very moving to me whenever I'm in it. It just kind of nails what it was like growing up in the 80s, honestly. Right? I know, right? You can see it is because the thing is they're made of this very strong plastic and they fit like decor wise. They work really well with the lighting in this room. And like, I have kind of a grayish, light gray carpet and I have white walls. And so like it works really well with those, but and it's modular. It's easy to assemble and take down. So it worked perfectly to put it here. But having said that, like, yeah, if I put more on there, they're strong enough they can handle that. But it definitely, you can tell a little bit the heaviness of it in the middle for sure. All right, here we go. So we're going to use a spanner. Han's hand went to his sonic spanner. It was worth a try. He thumbed the control, the tool vibrating in his palm. He'd once seen a singer shatter a bottle of Jogan fruit juice by hitting a high note. If he could find the right frequency, maybe he could crack the foam that covered most of Chewie's body. He pressed the tool against the Wookiee's encased chest. "Brrr!" Chewie complained, saying that the vibration was giving him a headache. "You're not the only one," said someone with a silky voice. Han turned to see Leilani standing behind him, her electro whip buzzing at her side. "So you're the one who claimed to be Jabba the Hutt?" "Who, me?" said Han, gesturing with a spanner. "I'm just a humble mechanic. No one special at all." Leilani cracked her whip, knocking the spanner from Han's grasp. Electrical currents surged up his arm, knocking him back into Chewbacca's immobile body. He slid to the ground, cradling his stinging fingers. 2 of Leilani's mercenaries stomped up. Slapping binders on his wrists, they dragged him back to his feet. "You're a terrible liar, but will make a wonderful slave," Leilani purred. "As will your little pet." Han was marched to her ship and thrown into a cramped cell. A minute later, Chewie was tossed in with him, the Wookiee's arms and legs still stuck fast in the filofoam. "Don't worry, Han, pal. Don't worry, pal," Han said, as the door to their prison slid shut. "We'll get out of this in no time. It'll be like a Mimban. We just have to figure out how." The end. Can you go back and help Han make a better decision? Where will the adventure lead next time? Okay, that was not it, chat. Just to be clear. All right, let's try this again. How can Han get Chewie out of the foam? Is it $vote space 1, use a welder, or $vote space 2, use a hammer? I think our fail count is 7, yeah. Fail count 7. I'm just enjoying, this is a little bit that my daughter put together for Spanish class as I head towards the end of the year. So she made this, I forget what they call it, but it's egg, potato, I think cheese or something else in there. But it's a traditional, I believe, Mexican dish. So a month holiday. Yeah, I mean, oh, well, actually, it's funny you should mention that, Echo. In August, it won't be a month, but it will be, if you include Gen Con together with Worldcon / the D&D event, It'll be about 3 weeks, a little over 3 weeks. I mean, we're going to Gen Con. We're going to be home for a day and a half or so before leaving. But basically, it's essentially one kind of continuous thing. So we're looking at about 3.5 weeks, I think. Vote 1, let's set the Wookiee on fire. I walked into a Wookiee full of fire. He said, "Roar, roar, roar," and the one went higher. He said, "Roar, roar, roar," and the higher Wookiee on fire. Yeah. Yeah, the potato egg breakfast burritos. Oh, man. With, and it has to be that one, right? With like Han behind him. Dun, 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 dun. I walked into a burning Wookiee of fire. He said, "Hur, hur, hur," and the fire went going higher. He said, "Down, down, down to the spire, hur, of the Wookiee of fire." Oh, my goodness. All right. Hey, congratulations, Connie. All right, last call. I'm glad that I have to say, like, I don't know that, come on, like hammering away. I mean, maybe it would work, but is this it? Is this the clip? Keep full of fire. He said, "Hur, hur, hur," and the one went higher. He said, "Oh my God, what even is that?" Oh goodness. All right. Okay, so here we go. Use a welder it is. Okay. Chewie's eyes went wide as Han grabbed a fusion welder from his belt. Don't sweat it, pal, Han said, adjusting the welder's controls. We just need to turn up the heat. He touched the tiny flame to the foam, which started to bubble. Chewie's roar was getting more frantic by the second. "Stop complaining, will you?" said Han. Han told him. "I'm not going to burn you. I'm nearly through." Suddenly, a rough hand grabbed Han's shoulder and sent him spinning to the ground. It was Nodo, his scaly face flushed with blind fury. "Liar!" Han tried to scramble up, but Nodo grabbed him by his jacket and dragged him over to Lilani. "Tell her," the reptilian barked, throwing Han at her feet. "Tell her how you lied to me." Han looked up at Lilani. "I may have stretched the truth. I'm not Jabba. I just work for him." Furious that her prize had been denied her, Lilani raised her arm, the electro whip sparking in the air. Han screwed up his eyes, waiting for the energy flail to crack several of his bones, but the only crack was the sound of splintering filofoam. Chewie bellowed as he broke free of his shell and grabbed a startled Nodo. Still roaring, the Wookiee lifted the mechanic high above his shaggy head and tossed him at Lilani, setting them both to the ground. "Chewbacca, let's go!" "Rot, rot. Suck it, Nodo." "Yeah." That's what I'm talking about. "Good work, pal," said Han as Chewie scooped him up. "Is the Falcon fixed?" Chewie nodded. "Then what are we waiting for?" Nodo and Lilani's forces were still fighting as Han led Chewie back to the landing bay. The only surviving ships were the strange TIE fighter and the armored transport. The transport's door was open, and Han could see Meech trying to free the prisoners from the filofoam. "Here," he said, throwing her the fusion welder. "You can burn him out." "What about you?" she asked, catching the tool. Let's see. Hey, what's up, Bartek? Spells that give disadvantage at intelligence saving throws. I got an idea how to annoy my TM again. What about you? She asked, catching the tool. "We're heading back to our ship." Meech rushed to the open door. "Take us with you." Han glanced at the cocoon prisoners. "We can't wait for you to free them." She slapped the side of the transport. "Then take this thing. Chewie can help break them out while you drive." Han wasn't sure. He glanced at the TIE fighter. Even if they could get the transport moving, it would be a lot slower than the starfighter. Reluctantly, Han made his decision. Which ship do they use to get back to the Falcon? Is it the TIE fighter? Or is it the troop transport. Why don't you do what I told you to do? Thank you. $. There we go. Sorry about that. Go ahead, live suing. $. Vote space 1 is the TIE fighter, but you have to leave the prisoners behind. $. Vote space 2 is the troop transport, and you can bring the prisoners. This is very much like, if any of you watch any of the speed runs of Super Metroid, this is like, do you save the animals, basically. Is what we're talking about. Same energy. Wow. Darth Maul first, huh, Echo? That's how that works. Do you harvest or rescue? Darth Fleos. All right, last call. It's a safe vote, you're saying, Echo? Is that what I'm hearing? It's a safe vote. And yes, feeble mind would have been the thought I would have thought about as well. I'm trying to think if there were some stunned. I don't have time to look it up right now, but I'm trying to think if the stunned condition creates disadvantage in saving throws. I need to look into that. I don't remember off the top of my head. All right. The troop transport. That's what I say too, Chet. Don't make me regret this, Han said, clambering into the transport's cab. The engine fired on the first attempt, the vehicle rising unsteadily from the ground. Han pushed down on the accelerator and the transport jumped forward. Soon they were speeding through the smoke, engineers and Mandalorians leaping out of their way. How are we going to get through the trees? Han called over his shoulder. I know a path through the jungle, Meech replied and started reeling off directions. You sure you know where we're going? Han said as he swerved the transport this way and that. All these trees look alike. Chewie bellowed a response on Meech's behalf as he brushed away the last of the foam from the hostages. Hurt! Look, Han snapped back, I just don't like taking orders, okay? Not from Jabba, not from you, and definitely not from... He broke off as he was forced to slam the thrusters in reverse. The transport jerked to a halt, throwing Meech off her feet. She scrambled over to the cab. So much for following my directions. I was, Han insisted, and look where they got us. A steep incline rose in front of them. We'll never get over that, Han told her. Meech was forced to agree. To make things worse, the ground on both sides of them gave way to swamp. The decrepit transport would never make it over marsh water either. We'll have to reverse out, Han said, just as they heard the telltale howl of Mandalorian rocket packs in the distance. They're coming after us, said Meech. Then we need to go over the swamp, Han said. No, she insisted, we go straight ahead. There's a hill, and this thing has laser cannons. Han couldn't believe what he was hearing. You want us to tunnel our way to the Falcon? She held his gaze defiantly. Unless you have a better idea. What do they do? Should they escape across the swamp, or try to, because I think they just said they couldn't, but anyway, or should they blast through the hill using the laser cannons, which is Meech's idea? $ vote space 1 is try to escape across the swamp. $ vote space 2 is to blast through the hill. Yeah, I thought of that, Tilted, but I was figuring that because they had been specific in just saying int saving throws. But yeah, it's true. Frighten does do that job. Blasting through the hill. To quote Infinity and Beyond, the best bad idea they've ever had. You're going Nightwish over the hills and far away. Oh, by the way, if Drew's still in chat, you'll appreciate this. And those of you who like certain forms of 80s metal. So I was in New Haven a couple of weeks ago, and I was walking past Toad's Place, where I have seen several shows, including Toad the Wet Sprocket, which I saw at Toad's Place in New Haven, very famous club. But they were featuring, coming up a few weeks, Queensryche. Okay, so are you going to bed? Is that what you're saying, Echo? Maybe I misunderstood that. Okay, no, I didn't think so. All right. But yeah, so Queensryche, which is the band, for those of you who don't know what that is, they did a song called Silent Lucidity. There's a place I love to hide. Da da ba da 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 da. I'm standing next to you in silent lucidity. Doom doom doom. You flirted with Jeff Tate. Yeah, they're playing. I couldn't believe it. I was like, whoa, Queensryche still is around? But yeah. Oh, really? The one with Jeff Tate? Well, Silent Lucidity, because I was not a huge Queensryche fan back in the day, but you photographed them in concert? Was Jeff Tate there with the Lucidity song? The Silent Lucidity song? That never happens. There are never falling outs between members of the band, Life Sewing. Yeah, okay. That's the one I was thinking about. Itchy ear. There's two Queensryches effectively now. Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know whether this is the one with Jeff Tate or not. It's a good question. I don't know. So they're like Styx, is what you're saying? Like basically you've got Styx, which is Tommy Shaw and all that crew, and then you've got the songs of Styx with Dennis DeYoung and all that. Yeah. Okay. Blast through the hill. All right. Chewie bellowed a warning. Okay. Chewie bellowed a warning from the back of the carrier. The roar from the pursuing Mandalorians was getting closer. Well, Meech prompted. This'll never work, Han said, activating the weapon system. The transport shook as the cannon pummeled the hillside, sending clumps of dirt high in the air. It is, Meech cheered. It's working. I told you it would, Han said, slamming the transport forward. They plunged into the freshly carved tunnel, the path ahead illuminated by the flickering light of their cannon fire. The noise from the blast was almost unbearable, but at least it masked the scrape of the transport's doors against the narrow tunnel walls. They found us, Meech called out, struggling to make herself heard over the racket. Oh, really? I didn't know that. Han glanced over his shoulder. A group of Mandalorians had barreled into the tunnel following a low-slung speeder bike. It's Lalani, he said, spotting the glowing whip looped around the speeder's handles. Charge up the rear cannon. Yeah, I meant to say freshly carved, not friendly carved. Meech checked the controls. We don't have one. Sure we do. Chewie? Chewbacca was already hanging out the back door, bowcaster primed and readied. He took aim and fired. The bolt struck the scorched dirt directly above the Mandalorians. With the sound of rolling thunder, the tunnel collapsed on top of Lalani, trapping the Quarren and her mercenaries. Meech clapped her hands. Yes! Don't celebrate yet, Han told her as the cannon stuttered. Our batteries are draining fast. Meech looked back at the collapsed tunnel behind them. But if they fail, we'll be buried alive, Han confirmed, flooring the accelerator. But I'm not about to let that happen. With an almighty thoom. You know what I mean, chat? Sometimes you just walk around and you're like, in the name of the almighty thoom. You know? The transport blasted through the other side of the hill. The repulsors burned out and the wrecked vehicle bounced once before careening into a large purple tree. That looks like this, I guess. You did it, Meech said, throwing her arms around Han. Of course I did, he replied, trying to pry himself free from the hug. Hurt! Chewie bellowed as he ushered the freed hostages in the transport. No need to get jealous, Han told him, jumping from the cab. How far to the Falcon? Chewie pointed ahead, and Han turned to see the welcome sight of his ship through the trees. There she is, Han said, rushing ahead before stopping beside a rundown bunker that had been half buried by the undergrowth. He swung open the door to find it was filled with familiar barrels. More rhydonium. Meech walked up beside him. Noto has stockpiles all over the jungle. Then she noticed the look on Han's face. Wait, you're not thinking of taking them, are you? Does Han take the fuel? $ vote space 1 says Han does take the fuel. $ vote space 2 means he does not take the fuel. Does he take the fuel? That was a cool video too. That was the video where they were on the bed, I think, floating. I think when they were like the boys on the bed floating through the air, I think. Ooh, yeah. Oh, nice. Nice. That's awesome. So they were cool with you taking pics? Obviously, I guess. Those don't look like the secretive, like, like type of thing. That's cool. That's cool. All right, chat, here we go. Going once. They were all nice guys. Yeah, I could see that. Once, going twice. Yeah, the bot automatically thanks everybody. Dragon Spawn. There, it's always thankful. It's a very nice bot. All right, yes. You bet I am, Han said, turning to the hostages. Time to earn your passage. Everyone grab a barrel. There was much grumbling, but before long, the members of Han's party were rolling the heavy drums toward the Falcon, Chewbacca carrying a barrel beneath each of his long arms. The Wookiee gave Han a withering look. Stealing starship fuel seemed to have become a hobby of theirs. At least it's easier this time around, Han suggested, interpreting the Wookiee's expression. Soon cargo and passengers were stowed safely on board, and Han was back in the Falcon's cockpit where he belonged. Not a bad job, he told Chewbacca as the engine revved to life. Could have done better myself. Before Chewie could respond, Meech appeared behind them. There's movement in the jungle, she told them. I think it's Nodo. The sudden thud of blaster fire against the hull confirmed her story. Han flicked a switch and the display monitor showed a picture of the mechanic desperately trying to shoot his way onto the ship. Well, he doesn't look too happy, Han said. Meech laughed. Can you blame him? Losing your prisoners and your business in one day? That's gotta hurt. Yeah, Han agreed, grinning as he pulled back in the throttle. Couldn't happen to a nicer guy. Outside, Nodo was blown off his feet as the Millennium Falcon's powerful engines propelled the ship high into the sky. Looking like this, chat. Just wait till I find you, you no good faker, he yelled, shaking three of his fists at the disappearing cruiser. You made an enemy today. Do you hear? A dangerous enemy. Of course, Han couldn't hear a word, and he was busy planning his next move. Plot a course to the nearest spaceport, he instructed Chewie as soon as they were clear of the planet's atmosphere. Behind him, Meech frowned. And then what? Then we say goodbye. That's it? You just dump us and run? Han raised his gloved hands from the controls. Hey, I got you away from Nodo, didn't I? Now you can look after yourself. Besides, I've got Rhydonium to sell. Need to pay Jabba off somehow. Chewbacca looked back at Meech's downhearted expression and rumbled a response to Han. Mm-hmm. Give the fuel to her? Han raised a finger to shut up the Wookiee. No, not happening. Not in a million years. It would help me get the hostages home, Meech pointed out. Han turned to look at her. And why should I? You've been nothing but trouble. The first time we met, you even tried to shoot me. Because I was going to steal your ship to escape. And now you've escaped, thanks to me. This time, Chewbacca didn't growl. He just cocked his head and looked at Han with soulful eyes. You're not getting me into this, the smuggler told the Wookiee. That fuel is ours, fair and square. Does Han give the fuel to Meech? $ vote space 1 means he does give the fuel to Meech because Chewbacca tilty head. $ vote space 2 means he does not give the fuel to Meech. Y'all know the answer to this. This should not be difficult. Classic ore. Exactly what Shadow just said. You know the classic rule of Star Wars, which is to do what the Wookiee wants. Also, clearly, Han When Chewbacca's like, the first one is to give the fuel to Meech is $vote space 1. To not give the fuel to Meech is $vote space 2. You think Classicor is being devil's advocate? I think he's being dead man's advocate. Chewbacca is just like, "Rrr." Yeah. All right, last call. All right, going once. Going twice. Okay. Yes, he does. I can't believe you guilted me into that, said Han as they blasted away from the spaceport. Despite Han's better judgment, they had left the fuel with Meech and the hostages. Chewbacca chuckled, looking pleased with himself. Han shook his head. He knew they'd done the right thing, but it also left them with a problem. You know Jabba's going to be furious, don't you? We'll have to pay him double to make up for this. Chewie's smile faded. Or we'll be on the run, hunted by Jabba's goons wherever we go. This time Chewbacca didn't reply. He just looked at Han, who was grinning from ear to ear. But what else is new? He'll have to catch us first. With that, Han Solo pulled back on the hyperdrive lever, and the Millennium Falcon shot into the stars. The end. Congratulations! You helped Han and Chewie make it through their latest adventure. Doot, 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 doot. Doot, doot. Perfect time for donation. Doot, doot. After 7 fails. Can I just say, though, this is not a half bad I mean, it's obviously very simple, but this is not a half bad choose your own adventure. You know what I mean? It's a decent Star Wars story, actually. It fits like what you would expect. Again, it's very simple. It's like, obviously it's done for younger readers, but it's pretty clear and straight. Like it's not that bad. It's interesting, actually, even though it was just a basic kind of, much less complicated than the fighting fantasy games we play even. But that was not bad. $4, worth it. Worth it. Could have been 8 fails, yeah. Let's find out about the authors were Cavan Scott, is one of the writers of Star Wars Adventures in Wild Space and IDT. There we go, Tilted. that was the achievement that we definitely needed. Thank you, Tilted. Make it even. All right. So now we're up to 508666, I think is what that means. 5086. Let me see if I can put that up there. 5086. Thank you so much, Tilted. 508666. I love it. Thank you so much. So yes, Cavan Scott, one of the writers of Star Wars Adventures in Wild Space and IDW Publishing Star Wars Adventures comic book series. When he's not playing in a galaxy far, far away, Cavan has also written for such popular franchises as Doctor Who, Pacific Rim, Vikings, Star Trek Adventure Time, and Penguins of Madagascar. You can find him online at www.cavanscott.com. Can I just say also, by the way, that Cavan sounds like a Star Wars name? It just kind of does. Okay, let's see. Oh, interesting. I was actually looking to see because I have an E. Yeah. Oh, yeah. There we go. That's Cavan Scott. That's pretty cool. Elsa Charretier is a French comic book artist and comic book writer. After debuting on COWL at Image Comics, Elsa co-created The Infinite Loop with writer Pierre Collinet at IDW. She has worked at DC Comics, Starfire, Bombshells, Harley Quinn, launched The Unstoppable Wasp at Marvel, and recently completed the art for the adaptation of Windhaven by George R.R. Martin and Lisa Tuttle, Bantam Books. She's currently writing 2 creator-owned series and has illustrated the first issue of Star Wars Forces of Destiny for IDW. Very cool. Very cool. There we go. Whoop. Be careful about that. Oh, man. Really, Shadowed? Oh, you know? Really? You know him? Oh, that's cool. I do not know him. Yeah, someone here is likely to. There's a pretty good chance. All right, chat. So that's cool. So we did it. All right. Well, Echo, if you have your outro thing, please send it along because I'm going to start wrapping up here. I want to send some thank yous out to people and then close up shop because we have been going for quite a while over the course of ArvCon. Yeah, we got our ArvCon 25 guest star. That's right. From International Tie-In Writers Association. No, I knew that, but that's very cool. That's very cool. All right. So a couple of things to note here. As I do this. First of all, thanks again to ArcanaSpot. I'll keep the giveaways thing up for now. Okay. So we did. I'm glad you came, Damon Runyon. We just finished up. We're getting ready to wrap up here, but we did, in fact, hit our goal. Yes. $5,086.66. We did make the goal. I had a feeling we would be able to. I knew that going in to this weekend, I knew that we had a very good opening day on day 1. We were just under 3,000 going out of day 2, going into day 3. Then we ended just over 4,000 after day 3. So the line was good the whole way around. And we did, in fact, make the goal. And I'm very, very happy for that. And I'm really, again, thankful to Damon Runyon for once again supporting us through this and supporting this effort. I have a bunch of thank yous to make that I want to do here. And then I want to also thank, I'm going to thank some people in more detail later on in the week. First of all, I want to thank the sponsors of the event. And I'm going to put this up and I'm going to drop my camera out for a moment so you can actually see it. I'm going to move the giveaway window to over here. So I want to thank our amazing, amazing sponsors. I want to thank all of them because they all make a difference and it does help generate interest and momentum and build hype and so on for these giveaways. Alligator Alley Entertainment. I want to thank Athos Arts, of course. I want to thank Catalyst Game Labs, of course. I want to thank Free League, definitely. I want to thank Fatbot Games. As a reminder, you can still get that Blade Runner book if we hit 5,200 before I stop. So you want to have a giveaway for the Blade Runner Core Rules book? Now's the time to get in that 5,200. Fatbot Games, maker of Vaporum and Vaporum Lockdown. Thank you to them. GOG.com, of course, my sister channel that I stream on. Again, so many thanks to Pyron Jade and to the lovely folks at GOG.com for supporting us. It really does make a difference. Thank you to Nomad Games for doing all the Talisman stuff. Talisman has just gone free to play. Well, they didn't give us Talisman codes, but that's the one I know them the best for. They gave us a bunch of Fury of Dracula codes, I believe it was, and Nomad has supported us for a long time. I want to thank the Rambo Academy for Wayward Writers. Kat has given away some classes for us to use, so we're really grateful to Kat as well for those. And we are also grateful to Tin Man Games. Very grateful to Tin Man Games, which has been one of our earliest sponsors, which also gave things as well. So thank you to our sponsors. We have, again, 9 sponsors for ArvCon 2024, which is, I think, the most that it's tied with the most that we've had from last year. So very, very happy about that, that we were able to get them on board. So thank you to the amazing sponsors. They really did make a difference. So I want to thank them first of all. That's number 1. We're not quite done. I'm doing thank yous, so to speak, right now, Drew. So that's the first thing. Second thing I want to thank everyone for is I definitely want to thank the people that worked behind the scenes to make this happen. The mods did an incredible job. In chat, I would love next year, Arv, the shop will 100% sponsor. Optic, can you send me a message about that? So, because I may forget. Can you send me a DM or a Discord or anything? I would love to hear about that. to hear more about, about that. Yeah, that would be great for next year. I'd love to hear about that. And thank you for the offer. But I could not be more proud of and grateful for the mods. The ones that we have in chat right now, Dragon Spear, Drew, Emily, Prince Justin, Shadowed Mage, Triffany Mats. But we had a lot of people who were here all weekend, including people like Kilness, who was obviously not only extremely generous, but also was helping on the mod side, and then the others. Dragon Spear put together the spreadsheet that we used for this in the first place. So a lot of the prize giveaways and stuff, that's because of Dragon Spear's spreadsheet magic. So not only did Dragon Spear donate, but he also did that. So thank you to Dragon Spear. Drew was helping back up in a lot of these cases for Drew. Yeah, and also excited about that optic for sure. Absolutely excited about that too. So very excited about that. Was really happy to have Drew on board with us. And of course, not only did we have Drew doing stuff here, but Drew also provided the #1 prize, which, unless we get a big donation at the last minute, is going to be going to the aforementioned Hillness. This from our very own Drew the Damager is going to be going to Hillness. So very excited to give that away to Hillness. So yeah, I wonder whether I should mail that to you in Indiana, Hillness, or should I just like meet up with you at some point in in New York again? Oh, thank you, Classico, for gifting a sub to a tier 1 sub to Optic Nerve. Thank you. Thank you very much for that. So, okay. Yeah, so very, very grateful to Drew for that. Obviously thankful to Emily the Invincible for many things, but in terms of this weekend, for also gifting, doing the audiobook codes via Athos Arts and also being around as moral support and so on throughout the course of the weekend. So thank you to Emily for that. And I do want to remind everybody that obviously my focus has been ArvCon this weekend, but there is a GoFundMe running for Athos Arts right now, which does really extraordinarily important work. Translations of Ukrainian stories, publications of novels, and so on. I am obviously biased because they are friends and also the publisher of my Icarus graphic novel and my Grey Assassin trilogy, the third book of which is coming out in a couple of months. And also, we're going to have a big event coming soon. I can't talk about this in detail yet, but we've got a big event coming very soon regarding let us say books and art. Let's put it that way from Athos. So there's that too. But in any case, if you can support Athos, if there's anything left over after the support you gave for ArvCon, please definitely consider supporting them if you can, because they definitely made a big difference. So yeah, The Lair of the Infernal Thief, a Untitled Dire Goose Game. Man, it's so much with Goose Game. That would be great, Jen. That would be awesome. So that is for, thank you to Emily again. Thank you to Prince Justin. Not only did Prince Justin do a lot of work, Prince Justin was here for most of the weekend, helping out with giveaways and with constant reminders about donations, spreading the word on social media and so on, but also was responsible for this, which is the second of this really gorgeous image here, this gorgeous picture, which is going to be going to Law, unless Law decides to Yui, unless Yui decides that he's going to give it on to Jen, Gan Eden, in which case that's up to Law. I don't want to do anything about that one way or the other. That's totally up to them, how that's going to work. But did I get that wrong about the number? I think I got that wrong. I think it should be 56. I think I got that wrong. It should be 5,056, not 86. I got that donation amount wrong. Sorry. It is still definitely well over the goal, though. 5,056. My bad. I was calculating it incorrectly. So this is really cool. Oh, you are? Are you really? Is that true, Yui? Oh, wow. Well, then look at that. So that means that everything gets pushed down, which means that Gan Eden is going to get this. So thank you, Gan Eden. Thank you, and a special thanks to Law for this. Thank you, Law. Thank you, Yui. That's very kind of you. All right, so I'm going to send that along to I was going to send that on to Gan Eden. I figured Jen would be excited. Thank you so much then, Law. I really appreciate that. That's super generous. So that's going to go to Gan Eden, which means that the D&D prize pack is going to go to Definitely Not Bruce, who is absolutely not undeveloped Bruce, member of our new play group by the Dice Roll, but more about that in a little bit. So, see, wishes do come true. That's awesome. Thank you, Law. So let's see. Where was I? So Prince Justin was responsible for that. So thank you again, Prince Justin. Also sent me one of those separately, which he's done the last couple times, which I'm honored about. So thank you so much, Prince Justin. I really appreciate that very much. Thank you as well to Shadowed Mage, who did a lot of the overlays, these splash screens that you see in front of you. These splash screens are his work. And so building on the work of others as well, but it was his work, Shadowed's, in putting this together. And if you liked what you saw from, say, this overlay, that was Shadowed's work as well. And Shadowed has got more overlays like that are going to be coming on the way. But I cannot tell you like how helpful it was to be able to have stuff like this for the professionalism and the look of it. It's just super cool. So thank you so much, Shadowed Mage, for that help as well. And I'm going to save one of the people. I don't want to say the best because that's unfair to everyone else. But I do want to say, first of all, thank you again to Yui, to Tenchi, who is a mod. But thank you as well for the incredible generosity this weekend. Really, I appreciate that, Law. Thank you. And it does serious, amazing good. So thank you. But I want to spend a special thank you to Triffity Mats, because Triffity Mats has been a good friend and a wonderful assistant for this channel for me, especially in terms of scheduling over the last, gosh, I guess it's been, has it been officially like 16, 17 months now or something? 18 months? Something like that, Triffid. But Triffid, I cannot tell you how useful it's been, how super helpful in like relieving pressure on me to have someone who coordinates the scheduling of this channel every month. That really does make a difference, and it's really been great. So I'm really, really thankful for Triffid in that regard. And Triffid worked astonishingly hard all weekend, coordinating the giveaways, coming up with awesome giveaway keywords, sort of rushing back and forth. I mean, like just tireless work. So thank you so much, Triffid, from the bottom of my heart. Really, really made a huge difference. And I think the mods are in agreement about this, how much great work that you did. I have the best mods in the business, but I could not say more about how wonderful it is to have someone like Triffid on board as a part of this mix. So that is really appreciated too. Thank you so much, Triffid. Really good stuff. So I wanted to thank the mods. I want to thank the players this weekend, starting with Expedition from the Mysterious Peaks. We had with us Johnny Pittman, and we had Zach Clay, and we had Toya Kristen Finley. That got the thing started out right, and then it was followed up by an incredible first opening concert from our very own Zach Clay. So I want to thank all of those folks on Friday who got us started with a big $1,220 opening first day. Day 2 was hugely busy. We started, of course, with the interview with the Damon Runyon scientists. So I want to thank Hannah Grunwald. I want to thank Haripriya. Wait a minute. I'm going to go and actually read this out so I don't get the name wrong. Haripriya Vaidehi Narayanan, right. It's the Vaidehi I wanted to get right. And Sukrit Singh. These are the scientists for Damon Runyon. They did the interview, and they also did earlier today a really entertaining Star Wars thing. If you haven't seen that, once I have all these videos uploaded, and they'll be up, within 24 hours, so you can see tomorrow, definitely go check those out because it was really delightful. I really enjoyed that game, sincerely, a lot. It was a lot of fun to watch. So thank you to the wonderful scientists for that work. And thank you as well, since I'm talking about Monday, to John Helfers, who jumped in at the last minute because Johnny wasn't able to do it. So thank you so much, John, for running a great game and for just having a lot of fun with the players. It was really, really so much fun. Started working with me last March. Pre-con scheduling is paid assistant, but volunteer time during ArvCon because you believe in Damon running this community. Well, I'm super, thank you, Triffid, is all I can say about that. You know how much I respect what you do and appreciate and care about what you do. So thank you so much. Thank you genuinely for the friendship and for the support and for the work on this. It really makes a big difference. So thank you, Triffid, so much. Okay. So anyway, so the players, yes, so I was talking about the scientists, right. Then we had the Talisman finale, and that was a big deal. Not only, I want to thank them, I want to thank Fleos and Ananda, who were here giving of their time. And then, of course, the finale of Talisman Adventures itself with Pyron J, Darksaber 2K, Wholesome Horror Gaming, and Undeveloped Bruce, who were not only generous in terms of their giving to the charity here, but also were generous of their time and gave us a really tremendous Talisman close. And especially when I was also trying trying to figure out what to do about the scientist game. They were very patient, and we ended up putting together, I think, a hell of a finale for Talisman. So thank you so much to them. And I want to mention everyone again, you're going to have a chance to see them in person because, as I announced, Buy the Dice Roll is officially a thing. I think I actually have it here. Let me move this capture back the other way, like down here. And it wasn't over here. It was, let's see, here. Maybe here. No, it's over here. No, it's over here. And then the image was here. Yes. Okay. Let me see if I can put that up on here then. Image, add existing. Yeah. Oh, geez. It's a little bit larger than one might expect. So again, this is the big announcement that we made. Buy the Dice Roll. Buy the Dice Roll right there. That is our new game group, our new actual play game group, which is formed from a group of veteran game streamers and also TTRPG streamers and players, and also GOG icons. Yeah, I'm super happy with it too, Prince Justin. That's the work of Undeveloped Bruce. And it's based on this whole cheese rolling thing in Great Britain. I don't know what to tell you, but it was amazing. Yeah, I know, right? Seriously, Tilted. So super, super cool. And I'm very excited for it. We are going to be streaming, of course, continue to stream on GOG now with Ghosts of Saltmarsh twice a month. I'm happy to say that Undeveloped Bruce has joined the group. So it'll be those 5 players plus the 6th player, Fleos, when Fleos is able to do it and the schedule allows. So we have a 6th guest star, if you will. But we will also be playing in person together at the Clapham Omnibus Theater in August. It'll be Saturday, August 17th. If you are in Europe, I would love to see any or all of you there. Buy the Dice Roll. Tickets for this event are £7.50, £7.50 in pounds. £7 50 pence, I think, is what it works out to. And so you can buy tickets right now at that link. You can actually do that. You can buy right at that link. And I'm very excited for that because I'm really looking forward to seeing them in person. As I think I mentioned, the Clapham Omnibus Theater, I'm going to be running them through Night at the Forbidden Library because, as it happens, none of those players have run through that adventure. But we're doing it at a place which is now a nonprofit community theater and was previously a Victorian-era library. Like, you've got to be kidding me. Like, it's just absolute kismet. So it's in London, and I'm very excited about that. The inspirational annual cheese roll event was today, exactly. So this is what that originally was based on, but instead of cheese, we're talking about dice. It's going to be super great. I am, yeah, exactly. It's not the start of a horror story at all. Super happy. 110 people. It's not a large theater, but it is a theater, and I would love to see, man, if we could get that theater filled with people who are here to see this and then actually live stream it on top of it. Oh, man, it would be super great. That's going to be happening on Saturday the 17th. Yeah, that's too bad, Prince Justin. I'm looking forward to seeing you, though, at Worldcon. That's going to be great. So I'm going to be going to Worldcon. I knock on wood, programming. I hope I should be on programming. They're going to be starting to announce now by June. They haven't announced yet. They're starting to gradually going to start announcing schedule. I applied to a bunch of stuff. I think I'm on it. I think there's a good chance. But I don't want to say for sure, but hopefully, because it will allow my university to defray my cost of part of my trip, part of it. So that'll be good. My part specifically to go to Glasgow. But but anyway, so Buy the Dice Roll. So that Talisman finale was great. So I want to thank those players, those 6 people, 2 who were there just because they're going to be part of Saltmarsh, and then 4 who were there for the Talisman finale. That was awesome stuff. So thank you to those lovely folks. Then I want to thank all of you, chat, because instead of running the scientist game at that time, we ended up doing the first part of what we just did right here, which is that Han and Chewie event. So I want to thank all of you. I'm going to thank chat again in a little bit. So that was a fun time. And thank little Arv for hanging out with me, my daughter. There was that. And then we moved on to the concert. We had Kilgore Trout, who did a really great, really peaceful, after a very busy sort of frenetic day, a really peaceful set with Gordon Lightfoot and a bunch of other stuff. That was really cool. Kilgore's been doing that for us for a number of years. That was awesome. And then followed up by Chrono Wolf, who would not, I would say, did a peaceful thing. Instead, he hit us with some 80s awesome and then followed it up with just some badass funk stuff. It was really great. And he's done stuff like this before for us. And it was a really great set. So I really enjoyed that too. too. And then and Kilgore finished up with Classic Morrowind. That's right, which was great too. But Chrono Wolf was amazing. And then we finished up with Community D&D. So I want to thank Kilgore Trout and Chrono Wolf. And then I want to thank in the Community D&D crew, I want to thank, of course, Shadowed Mage again for DMing that crew. And I want to thank the players. I want to thank the Shadow crew of Yoi, Gawain, Lin. I want to thank Drew the Damager. I want to thank Hoodie Omegata Truck. And I want to thank Tilted Gaming, because all of those together played through this kind of Waterdeep Dragon Heist horror one-shot where Shadowed tried to TPK the party, but it didn't work, even though Shadowed was like, man, I want to kill these people off. Wasn't able to do it, but somehow managed to pull it all together anyway. That was very entertaining. It went a little longer than they expected. I actually didn't make it all the way through because they were still going at like 2 a.m. or something on Saturday. But they did an amazing job with that. So thank you to the Community D&D crew for streaming on a night when they don't usually and for making extra time for it. Then we had the Marathon Eberron session, D&D with Infinity Beyond Eberron. I believe it was the Eberron group that ended up just edging out. They became the top team, just barely edging out Expedition. I believe it was a battle between those two. Who, me? I would never misrepresent. So anyway, that was S tier. Yes, exactly. And that was the amazing crew of Infinity and Beyond with the Eberron Oracle of War. That was an epic finish also of not that campaign, but of that part of the campaign as we're moving now into season 4. They are now level 13. So we're moving into not the home stretch yet, but we are definitely moving into things things have gotten real, y'all. They've gotten really real. So that was pretty awesome. And I want to thank the amazing people who were there for 8+ hours doing this in the form of Trent Sparks, in the form of Marie Bilodeau, in the form of Brandon O'Brien, in the form of course, Jennifer Brozek on Eden in chat here, and in the form of John Helfers. Thank you so much to them. And again, special thanks as well to Jen and John for their donations, as Trent donated a little bit earlier as well. Everyone who donated, thank you. But special thanks as well to John and Jen for their generous donations there, and to John for jumping in as a game master also. They could have used a cleric or paladin on the team. Yeah, well, they had an undead paladin, but they weren't on the team. Anyway, so that was on Sunday, and it was amazing yesterday. And then there was today, Monday. I already talked about the scientists and John Helfers, that amazing crew, the amazing game. So thank you. And then me with all of you finishing up. And I guess there is something appropriate about that in the sense that I did get to finish with all of you where this all started. So first of all, thank you to all the players, the musicians, everyone who devoted their time and energy, and to those of you who brought some real great energy to this chat, which leads me, chat, to you. You're not the last group that I want to thank. You're the third to last group that I want second to last group. I also want to thank again Damon Runyon Cancer Research Foundation, but I'm going to come back to them. But I want to thank them for getting the scientists and for being so generous to us in supporting what we do. And I hope that what we do is a positive for Damon Runyon, not just in the amount of money that we draw, but also in the amount of money in the amount of awareness that we raise in a fun way that to me encapsulates what Damon Runyon is, which is not just this kind of right? But it's this actual group of risk takers and innovators, and I don't mean that as a buzzword. I mean that legitimately, who do solid science, but also science with a sense of joy, and do so in a way of not just waiting for people to die, but saving people and making people's lives better. And that's a hugely positive thing. So I feel there is a synergy there. I'm glad that that is the case. And I hope that Damon Runyon will be willing to work with us again for many years to come. This is our 10th year, and we have now raised over $35,000 to benefit Damon Runyon. And like I always say, that may seem like a small amount, but in, compared to the millions they receive elsewhere. But in a lot of ways, I think it also is indicative of the best parts of Damon Runyon, and I'm hoping that's what we can kind of symbolize here, especially with the scientist games and things like that. So thank you to Damon Runyon. Now, 2 last groups that I want to thank. First of all, I want to thank all of you, chat, because you were the ones who make this possible. Our turnout all weekend was really great. For hours and hours, people were in chat, not just silently watching, although lurkers are cool too, but actively participating, whether it was the Choose Your Own Adventure stuff we were doing there, or, rolling with the punches as we changed around schedules of things like that, but also with all of the work that chat did in maintaining such positive energy. The raids that people brought in were really helpful, and I want to single out in particular Echo Alpha X5 for that, because Echo Alpha really made a big difference here for this in regards to like letting people know. And all of you, Hillness posted about this, and a lot of people let their own communities know, which really makes a huge difference in bringing more people. So we had a lot of new people join us as well, subs and other people, which is great for me because it means that our community grows, and that's a great thing, not just this elsewhere. So that really makes a big difference. So for everyone who was sort of open and part of the mix and sort of kept with us, it just makes such a difference to have such a nice, active and lively and loving and caring chat. So that was that. It really just made a huge difference with everybody. And so thank you so much to all of you folks in chat who made this happen. The Arvanauts are the best viewers on Twitch. I've said that for so long. And I am so grateful for all of that. Can I get you new vocal cords? Maybe. Can I borrow some for myself, Echo? But I'm grateful to everybody who made this such a big deal. Those of you, even who weren't in a position to contribute any money, just being here in chat and participating and helping people out and so on is the real reason to do it. And I hope you'll take this, I'll talk about this in a minute, and take this forward because I want to send a message to all of you about the importance of this too. Now, there is one last group I want to thank, which is the donors, but Echo has written an outro here, and Echo always does a good job with this. So I'm going to read Echo's outro, then I'm going to thank one last group, which is maybe the most important group of all, and then I'm going to send one last message to all of you that I hope will be inspiring in terms of what we can do going forward with your communities locally. So, no, I don't want this to be the last one, Echo. I'm sorry. I can't do that. I can't do that. I'm sorry. I cannot do that. I have to do a finale myself that's at the end, just me speaking to chat. I hope you'll understand. I'm happy to read it, and I'm going to read it here, and I'll do it justice, but I can't do it as the absolute last thing. Sorry. I cannot do that. I need to speak to chat from my heart, me doing this. So my apologies, but I will definitely read this because Echo's intro, don't forget, that Echo did at the beginning of this was great too. So Echo did a great intro for this. So let me read Echo's outro for this also. Well, first I'll say thank you so much to Arv and this whole community. This event every year is so special. We hope you're really able to see the impact of ArvCon. The funds and awareness you raise don't just go into a big institutional endowment. They go directly to the wonderful scientists you had a chance to get to know, however briefly. Thank you, thank you. Could not say that any better. Thank you so much, Damon Runyon, for sure. All right. So Echo says this to close out. Then I want to thank the donors, and then I'll wrap. And so, as the beacon's lit had begun to die down, the fire that had ignited sparks. I'm going to start that again. And so, as the beacon's lit had begun to die down, the fire that had ignited sparks in every individual, as far as the eye could see, turned lesser and lesser, till nothing but smoldering ember. We had reached the end. As ArvCon 2024 comes to a close, we close out on an intense victory. But what an adventure we have had together. The conclusion of Talisman Adventures, only for a portal to open for some to wander into the ghosts of Saltmarsh. An expedition into the mysterious peaks which laid with much treasure that was donated to the noblest of causes. An adventure that took the shadows into something unknown yet held most good fortune. And one most deadliest that with faith, hope, and greatest of inspirations carried our infinity and beyond into victory. And alas, as some may have wanted a baby Starforged, the Starforged himself was blessed by the lucky stars to have been restored to full size. While all these adventurers are veterans, it was a privilege to see our own John Helfers guide our brave scientists through an adventure in a galaxy far, far away. And what an adventure it was. A possibility of a new group? Who knows? A new hope on the horizon may be. But in between these great tales of adventure, there has been good rest, with songs by great musicians that spread a motherlode of remembrance, a musical bonanza, the soothing bongos of marimbas and fine piano playing by Zach Clay, the gentle strings of guitar playing by Kilgore Trout, and the big jump into the city we built with chiptunes with Chrono Wolf and his Fursona friend Pom Puma Dragon. We must give thanks to everyone who has taken and given their time and effort to help play and coordinate ArvCon. Our players, moderators, everyone. 10 years of valiant effort, and while so, a few have been wanting to say a few words to show their appreciation. From Marie Bilodeau, ArvCon is one of my favorite events of the year. I get to play with some of the best players out there with one of the best DMs, all for charity. P.S. Thanks for not killing me, Arv. Love. From Jennifer Brozek, ArvCon is an event I look forward to each year. The Damon Runyon Foundation is such a worthy cause. I adore the people I roleplay with and enjoy Arv's diabolical machinations. The IAB group is one of my favorite gaming groups ever, and I've been gaming for decades. The IAB crew. From John Helfers, I can't think of a better way to raise money for a truly worthy cause. From playing with the IAB crew to running a wonderful Star Wars game with some truly amazing scientists from the Damon Runyon Foundation, ArvCon is always a blast. From Trendane Sparks, my Eberron character Tanton is a small part of the greater whole that is the King's Citadel, just as our Eberron campaign was a small part of the greater fundraising event that is ArvCon 2024. Just as each donation made in a small part of the greater difference our combined efforts can make toward a better world for us all. Alas, I wish I had time to give the others a chance to provide a few words, but as the day divides us, it goes without saying that with certainty of absolute admiration for ArvCon is absolute, by everyone. And as this outro comes to its near closure, it cannot truly end without a few words of gratitude to our host himself, Gregory A. Wilson. Oh boy, I heard this coming. All right, this is not me, okay? This is Echo saying this. No words nor actions can provide the affection we bear for you for doing this year after year. 10 years of digital conventions to benefit the fight. You began as one individual, and years later you charged with an army of companions. While the many stood by you, the one true hero was called Arvin Eleron. You. 10 years and 35,000 and some. While it has been said how many years, it must be emphasized on how many it has been. To quote Chief Wallace Bowden of Firehouse 51, who will remember our work after we're gone? We will. Family, friends, the Foundation. We, the viewers, and I amongst them, are proud above and beyond to call you friend. And we will stand by next year and the year after that to find the fiend of a foe together. As we close this year's ArvCon on Memorial Day, wherever you are on our planet Earth, take a moment in remembrance of your loved ones lost to cancer and carry the legacy on in their name. Godspeed. Very nice, Echo. Very nice. Thank you. That was very well said. Thank you. That was good stuff. That, I think, is a good segue into what I want to say. Thank you, Echo. That was beautifully written. Well done. That I want to mention, too, Echo, we also did a ton of gift subs, too. So Echo was super generous, as were so many of you. So here's the last group I want to thank, and my message to all of you. And I think what Echo said are the perfect words for a backdrop into this. First of all, I want to thank the donors to this. The most important group in some ways are the people who are able to support what gets done at Damon Runyon. And I think the donors who donated to this cause $5,056.66, I think all of those people, whether they donated $5 or whether they donated $1,000, all of those people did something extraordinary. And it's something that I want to thank them for first. Thank you, donors, for making this what it is, and then want to send into a message for all of you. You all know, if you've watched me for some time, that one of the things that I don't hate a lot of things, except maybe raisins, but I don't hate a lot of things. But what I do hate is cynicism. I hate the easy, lazy, cynical answer. The person who looks at the screen and says, it doesn't matter really what you do. You know that all these people are going to die anyway. You know these people are going to get hurt anyway. People don't really care about you anyway. You realize that in the end, people just do things for themselves. That's the only reason anyone does anything. People just do this on their own. That is the cynical approach. And everything in society, arguably, that doesn't work the way it should, is partially generated by and developed by this same cynical belief that nothing will be better. I want you to feel the feelings you have now, the sense of warmth and love and joy, and recognize how bankrupt emotionally and intellectually that cynical view is. Rather than cynicism, I would invite you to choose hope. Everything that we do in this channel has been about three things: about community, about communication, and about compassion. And for me, those things are linked. It is how we communicate with each other that brings together a community that then can be compassionate to its members and to others. And all of the work that the Damon Runyon Cancer Research Foundation does is born out of that same hope. It is born out of that belief that a community of scientists who can communicate what they wish to do to the world can come together in a compassionate way to make the world better. That is what Damon Runyon has done. This is not just false words. This is not just cynical, everyone out for themselves. This is a true, hopeful coming together. It was not enough in the end to do something years ago when my mother passed away. 15 years ago, this October, my mother passed away from breast cancer. None of this was done quite in time to save her. None of it was done quite in time to save the other people that were lost. But it has come in time to save so many of the people who have spoken to us during this event. People who were alive because of the work that people like and organizations like Damon Runyon have done. And that organization does not just raise money for cancer. For cancer research, they also demonstrate that we collectively are capable of doing things extraordinarily beyond our own individual capacities. If you take nothing else from this weekend, I want you to take with you to your own local communities, to your own in real life places, whether it is your town, your school, your university, your workplace, whether it's just your own small family, and give that hope to them. Tell them we can do something together to make things better for other people. We can do that. I was part of an event this weekend that raised money, even though most of these people have never met each other and know themselves only as names on a screen. And yet all of these things together in this way have made it possible for us to make that event a success. If they can do it, so can we. And that's what I want you to bring, chat, to your own local communities. So can we. So can I, an individual, come together with others, individuals, to make a we. And we together, collectively, as a group, can come together to do extraordinary work. So while I am personally grateful to all of you for the Damon Runyon Cancer Research Foundation charity help that you've given this weekend, for 10 years, for $35,000, for countless hours, for donations of time, resources, money, game codes, photographs, live role-playing events, while I am personally grateful more than I could say to each of you for that, I am also inspired about what this says, not just about cancer research, but about the work that we do beyond it. That ultimately is what motivates ArvCon. It's about what we do together. So, on this day of all days, I want you to log off with a smile on your face, to know that you did real good, to understand that the world has advanced a little bit, but a meaningful little bit today, and to take that spirit with you the rest of the year. ArvCon 2025 hopefully is going to be the best of the lot, but every ArvCon is an incredible ArvCon for me, because I get to see the joy and the compassion and the community coming together for one common purpose. That is a great joy to me, and I could not be more thankful to all of you for it. And so, the deepest amount of love, the deepest amount of respect, and the deepest amount of gratitude. Thank you to players, to sponsors, to mods, to chatters, to viewers, to the scientists, to donors. Thank you for coming together to make this the best possible event for the community that we could have. And with that, I sign off on ArvCon 2024. I will see you lovely people tomorrow for Fighting Fantasy Gamebook. I will post more thank yous in the next couple of days. But from the bottom of my heart, you're all the best. I love you. Have a good night, everyone.